A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, The Twin Flame Union. In this channeling session, I would be talking about the Divine Masculine unraveling. Divine Masculine's unraveling of the reason why he got triggered or why he ran away. And in this channeling session, we are going to learn a lot actually, because this phase comes when you practice surrender very deeply and you are about to reach the stage of illumination. So in his mind, he's basically thinking about the old times or the fights and all the misunderstandings, and he was very upset with the Divine Feminine. She said this to me, she said that to me, she was so mean. Even though I was nice to her, she was always fighting with me, quarreling with me, things like that, right? And he was obviously hating her because he realized that there is too much drama. Every time I am with this person, every time I tell her that I love her, she keeps saying things like this or like that, or she blames me for certain things, or she just gets hyper about something. So he was not liking that energy. He didn't want to be in that situation where he has to explain things that he has not done or said to her. He obviously does not understand this while they are together. He understands this in separation. And most importantly, when he's dealing with somebody else, and this time he is the one who is feeling like the Divine Feminine must have felt. So when you are stuck in the same position where you feel like you are the one who has to give all the explanation, or you are the one who realizes that I also imagined something that the other person hasn't said or done, and I blamed that person, or I got triggered by that person, even though that person is the one who loves me. So both of them, the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, will actually have a role reversal, but they will not learn this via each other, because with each other they have to be in separation. With some other people, where they experience unconditional love, some other fight, some other heated argument, and they are in the same place, like they are in opposite places. If the chaser was acting in a certain way, this time is the runner who's acting like a chaser. So he is able to watch the chaser's behavior, and the vice versa for the feminine. Now let me tell you, this is all very much connected to each other also. Though in many cases we say that there is opposite polarity, so the timelines may not match. But as you graduate in this journey, as you progress in this journey, you are going to get into situations which will be happening at the same time in your lives. As in, it's happening in the feminine's life also, simultaneously it's happening in the masculine's life. But this happens towards the final stages of the journey. Okay? For personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first. And once you are sure, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything from you about your journey before the reading, so that we can get the best and most accurate answers. But in case of therapies, you have to share with me different facets of your life so that we can heal the wounded inner child, which will then lead you to a 5D union. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channeled twin flame stories, different types of twin flame stories. These are the base categories, and most people are in either one of them. Based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate, this whole research. Connect with me on Instagram at the Sunamoon Goddess, and you can also subscribe to the Sunamoon vlogs to get interesting content which supports Ascension lifestyle. And yes, Ascension is a lifestyle. As long as you're on earth, you will be in this lifestyle. So, now coming back to this session, so what happens is that in simple words, I will make you understand that Divine Masculine is in a situation where he is, say, very nice to someone, He's very caring towards someone, and this someone can be anyone. It can be a friend, it can be a cousin, it can be some other relationship wherein he is experiencing unconditional love. Okay, he really cares for that person, and he's there like maybe an elder brother or like a best friend or like a teacher or like a coach or XYZ. Okay, but it is purely platonic. All right, it is purely platonic situation he's in. Now in this situation, he is nice towards a person and the other person gets triggered. Maybe it is some dialogue, maybe it is some word, maybe he says something very normal. He says something very normal to a person. Like, you know what, you should eat breakfast on time. If you don't eat breakfast on time, you will have a very unhealthy lifestyle. And suddenly the other person snaps at him. What do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that I don't know how to maintain a healthy lifestyle? Are you trying to tell me that I will fall sick? Are you trying to tell me this? And suddenly there is a very tense situation. And he feels very bad about it. Okay, he feels very bad about it. That this person is, or we can say, let's put it the other way around so that it's easier for you all to understand if you're the divine feminine especially. Say you are the divine feminine and you are going to experience what the divine masculine experienced when he got pissed off with you. Let's put it that way. It would be best to understand it like this. So now divine feminine is playing the divine masculine's role, okay, in some other relationship, which is unconditional relationship again. It is platonic, it is unconditional, and obviously if the feminine has done so much inner work, by now she is mostly into asexual relationships or platonic relationships. Even with the divine masculine, if there was any sexual attraction before, that is already gone now. She has nothing to do with how he looks. In fact, she might be also now thinking that he probably is not, it's not that good looking. You know, she used to think that he's the most handsome man. Now she's falling in love with his heart more and more than his looks and personality. She now thinks, no, there were certain qualities about him which were really nice. He is genuinely the brightest star in the sky when it comes to my life. You know, there are other men, there are other stars in the sky, but he is definitely the brightest one. So even she is seeing a lot of his qualities which were due to anger and due to frustration and due to whatever he made her go through, all the separation and ignoring and neglect. She also had started seeing him in a different light. But now as she is healing her wounds and her inner child is healing, she can see some of the very beautiful qualities he had. And she is able to forgive him, and not only that, she is also thinking that he will also forgive me. Because in the case of chaser, the chaser also always has a fear that I will not be forgiven. That is the reason why they chase. That is the reason why they convince so much. That is the reason why they try to pacify even before the person is not even angry. They will start pacifying, and that will make that person more angry. So nevertheless, to say in some situation, the divine feminine is the runner in some other relationship. She is trying to avoid confrontation. She doesn't want to be a part of the fight. She feels the stupid argument has no end to it. It is going to go on for hours and hours and hours and hours. And the other person will keep on misunderstanding me. And the biggest thing is that when she says something nice to a person, like this example, you should not skip breakfast. Just a simple example. You can put any other example in this. You are just giving an advice to a person who you care for. Okay? Don't skip this breakfast, otherwise it won't be good for health. And that relationship, that person snaps back at you and says, hey, what do you mean? Are you trying to tell me I will fall sick? Are you going to tell me that I'm going to fall sick and die? And the divine feminine goes like, hey, calm down, calm your horses. I did not say that. You know, I just said that you should do this. No, you said this. I know what you mean. And this becomes like a very awkward situation, very upsetting situation, because now they start arguing and fighting over it. And somehow the feminine thinks that I will not mend this relationship, I will not heal this relationship, this is too much, because every time, I am good to someone like this, they misunderstand me and they get triggered. She even says to the person, I don't know why you're triggered. I don't know what, but I have not said it with the wrong intention. My intention was simply to, just give you a random advice in a nice way, and that's it. So after this fight and after these arguments and, the other person is not understanding, the feminine goes into that mode of running away. That I'd rather end this relationship, whatever relationship it is. As I said, it's platonic relationship. That I should not be into this relationship, and this person will only learn, because whatever relationship they are in, it matters to them. And they have worked on that relationship. There are many relationships in our life, family, friends, cousins, work, even work, as in there could be someone who's a business partner, or there could be someone, with whom you have a really good understanding in terms of work. But you always get triggered with each other. You know that the other person's intention is very nice. You know that the other person loves me unconditionally. They will never cheat on me. They will never lie. They will never lie about me behind my back. They will be the last person to badmouth about me. They know those qualities, but still they trigger each other a lot. So here the feminine has tried to work on some kind of such a relationship which matters to her. So in this relationship, she is actually playing the role of the masculine energy, because she has tried to run away from it for a long time. But because of ascension work, because of all the therapy work, because of all the healing work, you start releasing those fears, that this person will hurt me later on, or this person will subject me to some kind of humiliation, or some kind of, I will get a heartbreak, or I will, the trust that I put in, this person will break my trust. Most of the times it's a fear of betrayal also that is going to play or plays an important role in the twin flame ascension journey. Between the twin flames also, why do they fight? Because first the feminine thinks that all the people I dated before this person, they all treated me badly. They used me, they tortured me, they emotionally abused me. In some cases there were various degrees of abuse. And after getting out of all of those various degrees of abuse and ending those relationships, finally she reached to the point where she attracted the divine masculine, the twin flame in her life. And this time she felt that it would be all right. And when suddenly the trigger started popping up, she got scared. She thought that he's also going to betray me, he's also going to leave me, he's also going to abuse me, he will also do the same as all the toxic masculines have done in my life. And even before he has done something like that, even before he has said something like that, she is already imagining that he will do this to me. And thus they fight. Or even if they don't fight, she'll keep putting some kind of caution in the air. Like my heart was broken, this person treated me badly, I hope you don't do that to me. And he gets triggered each time he is subjected to some kind of a, judgment like this, which he hasn't even done. Just like the breakfast example. He could be saying, I think we should do this, we should do that. And she takes it like, oh, so he's also going to be like the same person, like what all the previous lovers have done to me. That is how the whole trigger starts. And when they fight, when they scream and they shout and they say things and they abuse each other, like some verbal spat or things like that, and he says, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm done with you. That's when she gets scared and she starts pacifying him, and then she over pacifies him. But she never tells him, because at that time they are both underdeveloped. She never tells him that, yes, I do have this trigger. Since childhood I have this trigger. And because of that trigger, I imagined that you could also do the same to me. And he then would obviously react that, why would you put me under this type of torture? I am not going to do anything of that sort, but if you're going to keep thinking about it, then things will go bad between us. Don't expect me to be some magician. It is your problem. It is your trigger. You got to fix it. You got to heal it. And you got to stop thinking in your head that I'm also going to betray you like other people. So, in this case, whosoever it is, whosoever they are dealing with, they have a very mature conversation. After screaming, shouting, fighting, whatever, not talking, finally, he realizes or she realizes that this situation cannot be so bad. In the sense, when the feminine is in the place of the masculine, she realizes that it's very obvious for him to feel bad because I got triggered and in my head, I imagined that he's a bad guy too, like everybody else. And based on that imagination, based on that notion, I said certain things to him just to make sure that he's not going to do any of that, which obviously he won't like. Because if he really loves me, like some of the people, they have an age gap between each other. Just another example. And the feminine imagines. So you can replace your problem with age gap. If it was social status, if it was skin color, if it was ethnicity, if it was religion, anything. Okay? So she is imagining that in the past, maybe she dated someone, say a false twin, who was also younger to her. But they constantly tortured her for this age gap. As if this age gap is caused by her and she has some role to play in this. They would keep telling her, oh, you are elder, oh, you're elder. You know, the mother of the guy she was dating, or some sister or some father or some other relative would keep poking this into her. You both are you are elder to him, or you have age gap, or you are this or you are that. Because of the age gap, it's not a good match. Because of the age gap, you can't be together. Blah, 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 you know. And she feels really bad about it in that relationship. She feels that they are constantly putting her under the spotlight for something she never kept a secret, or she was very bold about it. Or even when she felt that the guy was not that great, or he wasn't that, maybe he wasn't settled, maybe he wasn't earning enough, or he wasn't, due to those things, she felt that okay. And now when she meets a masculine, could be possible masculine is even younger to this person, so the trigger is even higher, huger trigger than what it was earlier. Now obviously the masculine knows about the age gap, he knows, but he's still attracted to her. It's not like he's judging her, or it's not like he's thinking that, oh, she's elder to me and blah, blah, blah. I must just... But she's imagining in her head, because in some previous case, this was the case. This was the situation. So she now starts already getting triggered that he might leave me because of this, or his family might have some problem, maybe his mother would have some problem, maybe his father would have some problem, maybe some other person will create an issue, or maybe he himself will create an issue later on. He would use it against me that you're elder to me, you're elder to me. And maybe in some fight, because she's triggered, they bring up this subject and they have an argument about it. And there you go. There you go. And always remember, the chaser is always the runner in the beginning. Later on they become the chaser because they realize their mistake. But it's a little bit too late. And now they don't want to give space to that person. If you don't give space to a person to come to terms with what has happened, then you make it more worse, difficult. So now in this scenario also, he obviously loves her. Age gap or no age gap, he doesn't care a damn about it. Or maybe he finds it to be a very attractive quality. There are many boys, there are many men who like women who are slightly elder to them or even more elder to them. And it happens to men also. There are some men who are drawn towards younger women. But our society is designed in such a way that if the man wants to marry a younger girl, it's okay. In fact, it's seen like some kind of star on his shoulders, on his uniform. But when a woman does that, then some people question her. I have personally read comments on videos and posts, where some celebrity has married a younger man and people are writing such filthy comments about her. Why? Because she's a woman. Being a woman, you can't be 10 years elder to someone, or 12 years elder to someone, or 15 years elder to someone and yet be married. It's not like you're marrying a minor. It's not like you're going after children. That's how they make it sound. That's how some people make it look like. They make it look very horrible, very sick. It's a defilement of other people's mind. Now, this is not just the age gap thing. Let me tell you, in India, people used to burn women alive who would not bring dowry. What is their fault? They are a woman. Being a woman itself was a crime at one point. I feel that was the peak of dark ages when people were burning their daughter-in-laws because she's not getting enough cash or enough gold or enough things. Or they would keep expecting the woman. If you're a woman, you have married my son. The mother-in-law's expectation is you've married my son. Now your whole life, your duty is to give us money, give us presents, be it any festival. Every year you have to do it. You are a slave. And forget about age. People do this when it comes to religion. They reject other people's unconditional love based on a different religion. Sometimes ethnicity, sometimes country, sometimes even a certain type of faith you follow, sometimes even lifestyle, sometimes country. Oh, you can't marry someone from this country. Or you can't marry someone who's white, or you can't marry someone who's black. So these are the triggers, okay? But when both of them are in separation and they are in opposite parties, as in they are playing the role. So he could be playing, now let's come to him. So when she goes through this whole process and she feels what the divine masculine could have felt in that situation with her, she understands, oh my God, right now I am getting so angry when I am being subjected to some kind of a trigger. And even when I have not said it or I have not done it, somebody is imagining it, that I would say it or I would do it, and already making some kind of preparation for it. Some kind of justification and preparation, and it is annoying me so much. Like my love, my behavior, my caring, my concern, is that not enough to show to a person that I am not like that? So it blows the divine feminine's mind. She gets really mad, angry. She gets very pissed off. And maybe she abuses, or maybe she shouts or screams. But now obviously it's not the same as years ago how it used to be. Ascension work makes you express very freely, very boldly, very courageously, very confidently. And you're not scared that a relationship will get over or it will end because of a certain difference of opinion or a certain fight or a trigger. Being in his shoes, she realizes that she also wanted to run away from a situation like this. And maybe she did. Maybe for some time. And then she realizes also that there could be a better way to do this. Maybe I should just tell the other person that, look, I'm very hurt by you and I would like to take some time off. I would like to take some space off. It doesn't mean that I don't love you or I don't care about you. It's just that I'm just not feeling so good. I need to get into my energy, or I need to just, feel good about it. Or even better when they've done more work, when they've crossed further more hurdles, they would be like, okay, let it go. We had a fight, we had a talk, we had a discussion. The other person told me it's my childhood problem, it's my trigger. When someone talks about not eating breakfast, I actually lost someone because of this problem. They had some disease, they had some issue. So I get very paranoid and triggered when someone talks to me about health or food or lifestyle. And as it is, so many people are dying in the planet, I got scared or I got this or that. This is just an example for you to understand. This role reversal is very important because this will actually make you understand when you ascend, then you also learn to let go of the fears. Why do we run away? Why do people run away? Because they are scared that they will get hurt in future. They feel that I'm putting in so much effort in a relationship, or I'm trying to be so unconditional here, I'm trying to be so understanding, but this other person is constantly torturing me emotionally. That's when you get, pissed off. That I have not even done something bad to this person. Maybe they had a past experience, maybe they had this, whatever. But I'm not doing any of that. But when you do a role reversal and you go into other person's feet, other person's shoes, then you realize that, yeah, I mean, they could have gone through some horrible experience. It must have really tormented them. It must have tortured them. But I need to tell them politely or nicely if they understand in whatever way. If they don't understand, then I obviously need to take my own time. But I got to tell them that you are in good place now. You are in good hands now. You don't have to be scared about this. And you got to look at me. If I was this type of a person, then I would not have even cared about you. So that type of conversation happens. And the feminine is now experiencing sort of sense of relief. And she realizes that triggers can hurt others. And triggers can be very old triggers, childhood traumas. And I must have also done similar behavior, shown similar behavior to him. But I was not willing to understand at all that he won't do this to me, and I needed some validation, some proof. Maybe shouting and screaming would have helped, because in many cases divine masculines don't even shout or scream, they keep it to themselves. They feel bad that she pointed at me, she said something to me, she doesn't trust me, she thinks I'm going to betray her. What does she know about me? Does she not know that I feel for her, I love her, or despite all the differences I've been, wanting her in my life? Now on the other hand, on the other side, the divine masculine is in a place where the divine feminine was. So he is now playing the role of divine feminine in a certain relationship, a platonic relationship, a relationship based out of unconditional love. And he gets very triggered by something, very triggered. And in that trigger moment, he imagines that somebody is going to do this to me, like the other person is going to do, or is imagining something about me, or is thinking something about me, about my nature, about my behavior. So even before something happens, this person starts speaking out about it or starts acting it out. When you get a trigger, you act very negatively. You play a very negative image. You project a lot of frustration. And in many cases, you don't even explain why. That is what a trigger is, right? So being in feminine's shoes, he gets triggered about something and he acts out. He acts out, say, a bad mood, or he acts out something like, like not speaking properly, or saying something mean, or offending other person on purpose. He does that. And then he does that, there is a huge reaction that comes to his way. He gets scolded, he gets shouted on, he gets screamed at, and the other person tells him that, look, I cannot do this with you. You got to fix yourself. If you have a trigger about anything, please take your time out, go to a corner and work it out. You don't have any right to treat me like this. The other person says that. But as much as the other person is saying that, the masculine is feeling all the trigger emotions. So he wants to make sure that I don't want to, create hurdle in this relationship. So here he gives in to that fear and he says that, yes, it is my trigger and I've been acting out because of the trigger, because I've gone through something in my past. Say in school or in college, I was bullied a lot because of my looks or because of my appearance or something to do with him. So I thought that you're going to do the same to me. You're going to judge me the same way. So even before you would judge me, it was in my head, it was in my imagination that you are going to treat me like this. And the other person says, well, it is in your imagination. It's not in my imagination. Did I say something like this to you? Did I do anything bad to you? Did I say even a word to offend you? I did not. Clearly it's in your head and clearly it's your imagination and clearly it's your problem which you need to deal with. You got to find a solution for this problem. Right? And he then realizes that he tries to pacify. He's fearful that this relationship will get over. And as I said, this is not a girlfriend-boyfriend situation, no. It is a pure relationship which he's been working on for many years. In this relationship, he probably is the chaser. So all of this interaction makes him understand the pain of the chaser or the pain of the divine feminine in a very different way this time. As if he is going through what she must have gone through. So he realizes, suddenly he thinks about her now. He goes back in time in their fights and he thinks that when she got triggered, she must have felt the same way. She must have acted it out. She must have felt very bad. Obviously, now in future, I'm in a better place. So even I am accepting my mistake, and I'm not doing it in a horrible way or in a stupid way, in a crazy way. And I'm not also scared of losing this person. Maybe my feminine was scared of losing the relationship, so she acted out even more. Maybe she just wanted a validation, just the way this person spoke to me in a very mature, wise way, that you gotta fix your trigger, and it is your trigger. It is not reality, it is your imagination. And that too a negative imagination. So that means that the other person is not at fault. Or maybe I can, and they are not gonna leave me alone for this. The relationship is not gonna get over. At least I have that type of a comfort level. But I did not give this comfort level to my feminine when I was pissed off with her. I did make her feel that it's over. So she acted out even more. So there is some kind of a compassion they are feeling for each other in their own respective lifestyles and timelines. She can understand what the runner was going through, and the runner can understand what the chaser is going through. And this is how you learn about unconditional love. Unconditional love also means, another facet of unconditional love is to be in other person's shoes. And I won't tell you to be in every Tom, Dick and Harry's shoes, by the way. I don't want you to be in the shoes of a psycho. I mean, it would help you to understand that if a person did wrong to somebody, this is why they did it. This is where it was coming from. But at the same time, you also should learn what is the right way to do things. For example, when the masculine got triggered and understood what the feminine felt, the person who handled the situation was very wise and mature. And they could tell him in their anger, in their upset feelings, or in their frustration, that you can't do this to me. Dude, you can't do this to me. I have not done anything bad to you that I should deserve this. Your trigger, your problem, please go and work it out. But I'm not going anywhere either. So you can be pretty chill about it. I'm not gonna change my love for you. But I need my space. Please give me space. After all this argument, all this fighting and cribbing and, crying, I just want to be into something which I enjoy. Because I want to get back into my energy. If I'll keep talking to you, I will get triggered again. I will be angry. So that going away, that information that I need the space, the information that don't worry, I will still be with you. Even if I go away, I'm going to take my time out and I'll come back to you. I'll get back to you. Please don't take it personally this time. I need to rejuvenate myself and I need to recharge my batteries. So he realizes that he could have done it also the same way with the feminine. He could have just given her an assurance, or he could have just explained it to her in this way. Or if he wanted to take a time out or a break, he could have told her that don't take it personally, please give me some time and don't, chase me again and again, don't call me again and again. And obviously the other person will understand, they are not stupid idiots, right? So this is where I close the channeling over here. You guys can try to understand, even in your case, how important separation or giving space to each other is. Because we are doing ascension work. Ascension work is not some kind of time pass. It needs time. It needs effort. It needs that urge to go within and heal your wounds and triggers and traumas. So you need to give it time. And that time, universe is our guru in this. They know how to do it. They will do it properly, in the right way. So enjoy this phase. If you are in separation, enjoy it. And try to put yourself in other person's shoes. Sometimes you got to forgive them, you got to understand them, and you don't have to chase or run. That's it. Simple. One love and peace out.